Hey everybody, welcome back to Sergeant's Talk. Morning Talk with Mike. I'm getting my lives mixed up. But hey, it is Friday, July the 11th. Beautiful day outside here in Oklahoma. Um, haven't had no rain in a little while, but that's good. But the dew point, man, every time you go outside, the humidity's up and it looks like it rained. The grass is soaking wet, but it'll dry out. Got to do some mowing today. I got to get that done. Got to cut down a couple of small trees. I got to clean up the pond area. And then I have to get my material list together to do some repairs on the gazebo out front. But guys, I'm glad you're here. I think we've got 9 people in here right now. But this morning we're going to talk about the floods in New Mexico and over in Texas. It's just a travesty, the loss of lives and stuff like that. And could it have been prevented? We'll talk about that and a whole lot more today. I did pin the link at the top if you want to join me here on panel and talk about this. I'd appreciate your input. Terry's just getting out of bed. Animals are fed. Dogs have been taken out. Freya's joining me here. She can't help it. She's got to lay right next to me anytime we're doing a live and she's out of her kennel. But before we do that, let's say hello to our friends in the chat. I know that Husky Edna was in here earlier. Well, actually last night, saying hello. She is a proud member of MT Homestead. There is Merns Pacquiao, our good friend over in the Philippines. Husky Edna's down in Australia. There is Tamara, Heartland Headquarters with Dink and Tank. Welcome in. Sir Paul Honeyman from England. He's here. Miss Arlene, hello. Butler Family Farm. I'm going to do some fence stretching today. That's always fun, putting up fence. But it's even easier if you've got a tractor, and he's got them. So depending on what he's going to stretch today, he wants to get that done before the heat kicks in, like everybody. Let's see. And there's Wendy at Hardneck Farms. She's saying good morning. You're not late. Got in from Texas last night. Memorial service was beautiful. My stepdad will be missed. He was an Air Force veteran. Well, I salute him for his service and all the family members that supported him during his time in service. Oh, so Connie farm set it for you. She is an amazing friend. Karen Breast, good morning to you. Good to see you. Debbie Drach, good morning. Kentucky Bluegrass Living's in here. Good to see you. Charmaine, our good friend over in the Philippines, good morning to you. And there she is. I was in her live the other day, Mary Yahoo. She puts on a good live. So I was over there seeing all the people, talking to people, listening to the music. It's always a good time over there. Hey, Gary at Jailbait Tackling Outdoors is here. And everybody's saying hello to each other. All right, what did she say? I found out my biological mother was in the Army. Well, salute her also. Okay. So that's who we got in the chat. Hey, if you watched our videos um, about the fly traps, I think the video was called Lord of the Fly Trap. Terry did a great job on that thumbnail. I'm telling you, man, the bags are getting full. And I haven't seen a snake in there in a couple of days. So I guess what the hurting I put on that snake either killed him or he took off and said, "This ain't worth it." And there's Sir Paul Hyman.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
As it is over here, good afternoon.
Oh yeah, you're like what? You're 8 hours ahead of me.
Well, it's just after 2:30. So, what time's it there?
So you're 6 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, it's just after 8:30 here in the morning.
Yeah,
so if I got my clock right, that's 6 hours. Yep. So you're seeing things before we do.
Easier for you.
Yeah. Do you get your coffee?
No, I've got water today.
Is it hot over there?
It's humid.
Is it humid?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the if I had my choices and I had all the money I needed, the place that I would want to live is somewhere in the Marshall Islands, like Guam. Guam is perfect. It's 82 degrees all year round there. And it's always got a breeze, more so on the west side of it. But it is just, that's only if I had all the money in the world. You see what I'm saying? But it'd be a great place to live. We visited there. We holidayed in Guam. Can't remember what year it was, but we went down there for Thanksgiving. And they have Captain Ron's. And he is an ex-sailor that has a bar, restaurant type resort theme right on the beach. And he did up like 15 turkeys and all the fixings and all the everybody that does it, they go there and it's just like a big luau, if you will, over in Guam. So we got to participate with that. And we had a good time. So that'd be the place I'd want to live, where you can rely on the temperatures. The only thing you have to worry about is the heavy storms. But all the storms start there because it's right there by the equator. And everything goes out from the equator. So, yeah, it's a good time. Hey, Christy Betts, welcome in. Husky Edna came back in. All right. She's down in Australia land. There's Leanne Gunther. Sweet Leanne, hello and good morning to you. Rebecca Touched by Yarn saying good morning. So, yeah, got 16 people in here. So, everybody is talking about the Texas storm and the travesty that came along with it. But a lot of people, and it hasn't been forefront in the news, is the flooding in New Mexico. New Mexico flash flooding from torrential rains. I don't know if it's is it the monsoon season right now? I believe it is. We lived in southern Arizona, and the monsoons would come through, and the water, all the houses set up just a little bit. At least ours did. But the water, the streets would be flooded. It would come up on the sidewalk and up on the grass. And every time it rained, it was just like dumping 4 or 5 inches of rain. But nothing like what they've experienced in New Mexico and Texas. I don't know what this is in my throat, but it's scratchy.
Yeah, too much coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, in 2020, you'd say, "Oh man, don't get around that guy."
Is there too much? Is there such a thing as too much coffee?
No, I just made it too. My first cup. So the flash flooding from torrential rains hit the. I want to make sure I get this. The Ruidoso, Ruidoso, Mexico, and that's also the name of the river there, killing at least 3 people and prompting dozens of rescues. Officials said a house was seen being carried downstream. Online, someone captured this, and an entire house is going down the river. It is
Yeah, seen
insane.
that.
This happened on Tuesday by the fast moving water. After a year before that, they had 2 devastating wildfires in that area. And if you know anything about anything, the erosion is catastrophic when there's no vegetation on the ground. When we lived in Sierra Vista, we had the Huachuca mountain fire, and it burned. I mean, it burned houses down up on the mountain, these big mansions that they had built up there. And then the monsoons came. There was nothing to stop the water, and it was just mudslides. If your house didn't burn down, it just got knocked off its blocks from all the dirt and rock and everything that came down in the mudslides. In Colorado was the same way. The Waldo Canyon fire, we were there for that one. Wildfires don't follow us. We just happen to be there. And I didn't have to go to work for what, a week? Because it was 300 miles. The pass was closed from Woodland Park down to Colorado Springs. The mudslides, the fire, everything was burning. And if you went around the mountain, it was 300 miles that you had to travel each way to work. And so they just said, stay where you're at. We didn't have to evacuate our house to the school up in Divide. That was the point for everybody. But the thing about it is they have early warning devices in Colorado, whether it's a tornado, whether it's wildfire and stuff like that. But the similarities between New Mexico and Texas is there is no early warning device. Nothing to tell people that something's coming. Not even a tornado in that area do they have an early warning. Now, they are saying that they sent out, hey, there's potential for flooding and all that stuff. But when it doesn't happen that often, and it's never happened at this scale, people generally go, whatever. But the travesty is the victims were a 4-year-old girl in New Mexico and her 7-year-old brother, and a man who was unidentified, but he's about 40 to 50 years old. Officials didn't release the names of the children's identity, saying it was out of respect for the family, said the police chief who was at the press conference. Now, one of the things, if you've ever traveled through New Mexico, they have a lot of RV or trailer parks, a lot of them, especially up I-25. We've seen a lot of them. So if they're there, they're everywhere. And these 3 victims, the river crested, took out that travel trailer or RV trailer park, and those 3 people were killed. And the sad part was, and I heard tales that their dad was military on one of the press things that I listened to.
It goes by White Sands.
Yeah, by White Sands, New Mexico. But they were at the RV park when they got swept away. And they were found about 2 miles down the river, or is where rescuers found them. Now, there were other people that were hurt. They were evacuated to the nearest hospitals in New Mexico, and they're in stable condition now. Ruidoso is located in southern New Mexico, and is located about 3 hours southeast of Albuquerque. The emergency manager told reporters a preliminary assessment found that at least 35 to 50 homes were damaged or lost in the flood. The Ruidoso River in Lincoln County rose to a record 20 feet, which is 5 feet higher than any previous high water mark, said the meteorologist. So, and it said in a half hour, it went up 19 feet, okay, out of that river bottom. And I could just imagine. I don't remember what they said the time of day was when this happened, but when water is powerful, I rafted the Colorado River when I was a Boy Scout, and it was like riding a wild bull, and you're doing some kind of recreational activity on top of it. Even though they call it a river, probably not a lot of water runs through there. So when a flash flood comes in the desert regions, it's just destructive. We had those in Arizona when I was young, and they said, "Hey, turn around, don't drown." And insurance companies, if you drive into a washout like that, a lot of them won't even cover you. I mean, because that's just stupidity. Don't drive across. Work can wait. Getting home can wait. So, use that added turn around, don't drown. Now, I wish that, I know we have Evelyn Newman. She lives in New Mexico. And there's another lady that lives there, and I can't remember her channel. But they live in New Mexico, and I wish they were here because I know they're probably following that New Mexico one a lot more than what was put out on the news wires. But let's see. Want to say hello to O'Rourke's Littlefield. There's Carlo, 21, Team Ohio's in here. Welcome in. There's Shirley De La Cruz and Eligio De La Cruz are here. Welcome in, my friends. Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, I did read that the governor of New Mexico has written to the federal government declaring that region along the river an emergency. And so FEMA should help out with that because it's a natural disaster, if you will. So people can do that. But in all the readings, I didn't see that FEMA was on the scene or anything like that the state was handling it. I seen that. Whereas in Texas, they called out everybody because of the great loss of life in Texas. So, yeah, it's too bad that you lose both of your kids. I mean, losing one kid. I mean, Terrie and I lost our oldest son in 2020, January of 2020. He actually died on my birthday. but they had him on life support. And then I flew, Terry and I think I told them I was leaving work. I was already at the airport. And I told them that I'm leaving. My son is what was happening with him. And they just go, you do you, Big Mike. And we were on a plane, 13-hour flight to Minneapolis, and then a flight down to St. Louis. And we got there within 24 hours after I found out. And yeah, as a parent, even though my son was in his 30s, you're not prepared for that. You're not prepared for the heartache that is so great that, and it's taken me years to not really get emotional about it. But I understand the loss of a child. It's hard when kids lose their parents and stuff like that. But something that you made, something that you love more than life itself, something that like that would happen is just so devastating. So my heart goes out to the parents and the other family members for the loss of these children and whoever that man was that they haven't identified yet. Hey, Hunt and Holler Ranch is in here. Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah. Nighttime storms, because you can't see them coming. I mean, you got your ears on and you're listening. You can tell when a tornado's danger close. Okay. Usually everything's being swept away, but you can hear, it sounds like the roaring of a train coming through your house when that thing is that close. And yeah, campers, double wides, single wide trailers, they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. And, you could use those hurricane tie downs, but if a tornado comes through there or a flash flood comes through there, the sheer devastation that it causes, and that's a risk you take when living in a trailer. Now, you guys don't really do you guys have like trailer parks in England?
Do you really? Yeah.
Like, what do they call them? Mobile homes?
Well, a caravan park.
Where people live permanently?
Yes, we have mobile homes that are just like your trailer parks.
I know the gypsies live in trailer. I seen that in Germany.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really shocking. I was walking through the woods and all of a sudden I see a camp. And we're down in the Black Forest. And it's a bunch of people and they have these little trailers. They're not horse-drawn trailers anymore like you see on the movies, stuff like that. But they have small caravans that they pull around. And then it's like a whole family. They make like a circle and that's where they're living for whatever period of time and stuff like that. And because it's their lifestyle, they're registered like in Germany with the German government and they're allowed to camp because that's their lifestyle and whatever beliefs that they believe in and stuff like that. So,
yeah, they restricted that.
Yeah.
They're only allowed to stay in one area for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
over
everyone was dealing with fires.
Over in Britain, we don't so much see the horse-drawn campers these days. The gypsies use transit vans.
Yeah. I do follow some caravanners channels over in England. I really like the places that they go. That's why I really watch it, for all the destinations that they go, and people don't realize. Everybody thinks, oh, London, all the sites and stuff like that. And there is a lot of history in London, a lot of history.
If you
And when
want
you're not
history,
from there, it's amazing that you're seeing stuff that you've read about or you've seen on TV or whatever. But the countryside, okay, the pure beauty of England, uh, Ireland, Scotland is just absolutely phenomenal. And I would love to go over there and just rent or have an RV and then stay over there a month and just travel to different places and stuff like that just to see it. So,
well, these days you don't even need an RV to do it.
yeah,
I mean, there's that many different campsites now for
yeah.
the um, mobile homes that you could literally just rent them out for a weekend or a week.
Thank you, Hunt and Holler. Thank you, Debbie. I didn't say, I mean, but anyway, thank you. I'm not going to elaborate on, but thank you. If you watch the weather, you can tell nothing like the ominous green skies. Yeah.
I opened my windows thinking I'd get rid of some of the heat. It brought it in.
Yeah. Yeah. There's times here in Oklahoma. I mean, you can tell when a storm's a brewing. You don't even need the weather service here. We have where we live. We have no mountains. They're to the east of us, and there's nothing stopping the wind. And that wind, that storm's pushing forward. As soon as that starts, and then we get days where it's the middle of the afternoon, and you swear it's like 8 o'clock at night, and then the storms hit. And I think the worst storm we had was the 11 inches of snow this winter. And I don't know what that would equate to rain. And then this spring and summer, our heaviest rain was 4 inches. So, and it was, 4 inches, it was a lot because it came up above the foundation and went inside my shop over there. We're sitting on from the ground up, we're sitting on a 9-inch slab here above ground in our house. And it came up pretty close. But everything from the house goes away from the house. So that's one positive thing for us.
You do know that most women say that 4 inches is quite enough.
Paul. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Women don't like a lot of rain. Okay. Yeah. It was a hot one in Kansas, I bet. 100 degrees already. Hey, Jolly Huggers, they're here. Welcome in. Let's see. All right. So, let's see. the they're saying that I never seen on the New Mexico sites places if you want to donate for. There, guys, beware, be aware that there are a lot of sick people out there. When disasters and stuff like that happen, they're so quick and they'll start a GoFundMe and people will see it and it looks legit. Okay. Looks legit. And they'll donate to them and somebody's scamming them out of their money. It's amazing that people stoop to those levels to do it. And we're talking millions of dollars. Okay. Because people do want to give. All right. They truly want to give. They want to help. They can't be there, but they want to help. And as Americans, we're really good at that. And you have to beware. Okay. Go to the official sites. Now, in the description, we have the official sites where you can go and you can donate. All right. And this comes from the city of Kerr, from the mayor's office. They posted these websites that you can give to, and don't give to any other place. Okay. I mean, you can get a hold of the American Red Cross because they are on the ground in Texas. But don't just willy-nilly open up your checkbook to all these things. Make sure you do your research, go to the official websites, and give. I know that in the Texas thing, the Kansas City Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes, he comes from that area, and he went down there, and they donated the Kansas City Chiefs and all the players and fans to the Chiefs for that, and they delivered something like $85 million. So thank them for that. I don't know the other agencies or if there's other teams. I know that was just on the forefront because Patrick Mahomes did go down there because he is from Texas and he wanted to help. Wasn't asked to come down. He didn't do, hey, Patrick's going to Texas. He just went down there. And then when people go, holy crap, you're Patrick Mahomes. And because he's a superstar. So he went down there, delivered that check to them. And, that's just good home raising that you care that much. So I wish they would have posted more about New Mexico, but that's what I have for you on New Mexico. So prayers for them, rebuilding and cleaning up the absolute mess that river left behind. Now in Texas, the search for more than 170 people that are still missing after the flash floods in central Texas, stretching into the 7th day on Thursday as the death toll continues to rise. At least 121 people have been confirmed dead. All right. According to the local law enforcement and Texas Governor Greg Abbott, ongoing search operations were underway to find anyone lost in the debris. I read a thing where they first went down the river, and when they seen somebody that was floating in the river or on the shore or whatever, they would pick those bodies up. Then they had to go back and get in the river where all the tree logs and all that stuff and tear those apart. And then they were finding bodies inside those buildup areas where debris had been. Uh, Not a job that I would want to do or volunteer for. I have seen people as a police officer in my past years. I worked traffic. I was a military policeman. I worked traffic as a military policeman in Mannheim, Germany. And you have the Autobahns over there. And it's not unnormal to have 20, 40, 100 and something car pileups on the Autobahn. Okay. And dead in the middle, there's one American. So I have to go do the case on the American. So, and then when you're doing your police report, it took hours to figure out, and working with the German police, the Polizei, what caused the accident, how it was all done, and how the pileup happened. And then, car number 55 was the American plated vehicle with a family. So I've seen that. I've seen I've responded to traffic accidents where people have ran into the back of semis, decapitations in car accidents, trying to find where the guy go, or the people have gone in the wreck because they're not in the car no more. But the one thing that brought me to pause and to tears was doing traffic accidents where children were involved. And that will rock your soul. It's one thing finding an adult and stuff like that, but to find infants and young children. And the same thing with this flood, these young girls that were staying there at Camp Mystic. And Camp Mystic is like built in 1920. They've been going camping there. It's a retreat camp for girls. And they're saying there was like 650 people there. And 550 or so were campers, and the rest were the staff. And along the river, they've had years in the past where it's flooded. Are you going to mow? Man, she got her mowing clothes on. Man, she's going to get some sun. But it's been there for a long time. And when
Terrie, get back.
What's that?
Terrie, get back.
Oh, she ain't going to come back, and you can see her in that outfit. She won't let me film her either. I get tens of millions.
Come on in and see Terrie.
I'd get tens of millions of views if I could film her in her mowing clothes, but she would disown the heck out of me. So she just wants to get some sun, so she's looking good.
You've got to keep her sweet.
Yeah. There are 161 known people still missing that they have positively said, we know for a fact that they were there. They're still missing in Kerr County alone. Officials said the county located in the flood-prone Texas Hill Country west of Austin, the state capital, bore the brunt of the disaster. At least 10 more people are missing in other parts of the state due to that storm that came through. Now, Greg Abbott has declared a state of emergency along that river area. And he sent it straight to Washington, and President Trump signed the federal disaster declaration at Abbott's request, allowing the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, to deploy its own team to support local rescue and recovery efforts as those operations press on. More storms after the initial flood made efforts especially challenging, the officials said. So the initial one where the river rose 26 feet. That's a 2-story building. Okay, that's a lot of water, because it's basically in a valley area, and everything is rushing to this river, plus the storm itself along the river. And 26, I couldn't imagine. I mean, if you were a surfer, a 26-foot wave would be freaking awesome. But here's what it gets me. The people that are missing, and if you look at the layout of the camp, they have cabins in the high zone area of this one section of camp. Then they have camps that are down in the low-lying areas. Well, all those cabins in the low-lying area just got smashed. And it's the middle of the night. What was it, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning? And this wall of water, and you're in your bed. And yes, they did get weather reports. Take caution. I don't know that I would allow those campers to stay in the low-lying area just in case. But they did. People are bitching that Trump's budget cuts to NOAA, to the oceanic people, may have contributed to not getting funding for it. But they've been asking for funding for this for years, before Trump even got in, since the last one they had that crested the bank, but it didn't hit this hard. So there's always blame. Okay. Did the camp people say, hey, did we do a risk assessment on, should we leave those people that are in the lower areas down at the river level still in those cabins where we're going to put them? And when Terrie did her research on this camp, if you want to send your camper to Camp Mystic for whatever program they have there for the summer, it's $5,000 a kid. Okay. So not everybody can go to Camp Mystic. Okay. Because their parents can't afford it. But like I said, it's been around since 1920. And it shows on their map that the river, I think it's called the Cypress or something river, that actually goes through the camp. There's a higher level, a lower level in that area. They're spaced out. And then up Cypress, there's another section of camp for it. So they have it in 3 different areas or so. The high area didn't get hit, but the low areas just got washed away. So I don't know. They've never had something like this before.
Yes, they have.
What?
Yes, they have.
Well, they did have them in like 90?
It was in the 70s.
They had one in the 70s. They had one in the 90s, but never to this level.
Yeah, it's the highest it's ever happened. But
yeah.
They have one every generation. It's called the generation storms. Now, if they have one every generation, why the hell are they building cabins by the riverbank?
Yeah.
They know it's going to come back. So why build down there?
Yeah. It says a large majority of the flooding deaths occurred in Kerr County, where officials have confirmed at least 96 people died within the county. At Camp Mystic, a girls' summer camp with cabins along the river in a rural part of Kerr County near Hunt, at least 27 campers and counselors died in what the camp described as a catastrophic flooding. Some survivors said they woke up to water rushing through the windows.
Yeah.
During the early hours of Friday morning, the Guadalupe River and Hunt in Kerr County rose to 26 feet, roughly the height of a two-story building. Over the course of 45 minutes, it rose 26 feet in 45 minutes. Camp Mystic was horrendously ravaged, Governor Abbott said later, and he wrote into a social media post, about 650 people were staying there, including 550 children. According to inspection records released by the Texas Department of State Health Services, which were dated July 2nd, just 2 days before the flood.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something that, I mean, you just can't fathom it. I've seen flash floods. When I was a Boy Scout in Arizona during the monsoon season, which is now, site selection for camping and stuff like that was not in the low-lying areas, period. If a storm comes in, those desert river bottoms fill up, and it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hey, Lynn, how are you doing, Lynn the Good? Troy Sutton's here. Welcome in, brother. Let's see. Okay, we got those.
What about that little girl they found 20 miles away from the campsite?
Yeah. 20 miles.
That had to be one hell of a scary ride.
Oh, my God. I mean, I'm sure she didn't experience 20 miles. She probably drowned way before then.
No, she's alive.
Oh, she's alive.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
I've seen it on the YouTube news this morning. One of the clips. I think
that's a miracle.
Yeah. She had her guardian angels working overtime.
That is a miracle. Oh my Lord. Friday was the last time a missing person was found alive in Kerr County, according to the authorities. But search crews continued to survey miles of the Guadalupe River in hopes of locating others who may have been lost in the floods that inundated that county, and Baker County also. The river runs approximately 230 miles through a region that sits between Austin and San Antonio, and ending along the Gulf Coast. It's nicknamed Flash Flood Alley. And you build a camp there in Flash Flood Alley? Now, normally when these camps and stuff like that, a lot of times you don't get, someone donates the land at one point. And this was back in 1920. Arizona became a state in 1912. Okay. And February 14th, 1912. And I only know that because my grandmother was born 2 days before Arizona became a state. And it used to be called the Arizona Territory. And her birth certificate is about this big. And it says live birth Arizona Territory on her birth certificate before we became a state. Officials in 5 other counties have also confirmed deaths in the flooding. Travis County, which includes Austin, as well as Burnett, Kendall, and Williams and Tom Green County have also reported deaths and flooding in those areas. So If you do want to give to somebody, look on the About page here on the description. Click on the link, and I put the links in there. They'll take you straight to those certified sites to give to. I know that Dave, the owner of Raising Cane, the chicken place, has donated $1 million of his own money to the search effort, and he is flooding them with everything that rescuers could need for food and everything like that. And I'm sure there's other people who have donated and are helping out. And like they said on the news thing, right now, they don't need no more people down there. They've got more than enough people on the ground, but you can give to the charities and organizations that are legit. American Red Cross, I didn't put that in the description. You can give to, because they're on the ground right now. I've seen videos of that. So for them, and then the other ones in there directly to the city to help them, to a food service or a food bank or whatever. Those are all in the description. So please check those out. And if you can give. I mean, $5 is more than they had. And hopefully, on the GoFundMe, that they can raise enough money to solve the early warning. Now, I will tell you that if I was the governor, I don't know that camp would be around much longer, or they make them relocate and nothing along the river. And I know that if they do get enough money, maybe they can put in an early warning system and hook it up into the state system. It's shocking. It's shocking that if they call that flood alley, and they know there's all these people that live alongside there, that they don't have a system in place. So that's hard to take. Okay.
They shouldn't be allowed to build again.
There's Mac and Patty. Got to see them again over at Freedom Weekend. Good to see you, Mac and Patty.
They shouldn't be allowed to build them cabins again.
Yeah. I mean, that just don't. I get it. People build houses next to lakes. I know at Texoma, the land went underwater. Hopefully you built it in an area where it couldn't reach you. But all the docks and marinas were underwater. Lake Eufaula, all that was underwater when we had the meetup, but we were up on high ground. And we didn't have to be bothered with that. We couldn't go down to the store or to the restaurant, the floating restaurant, because of the flooding. But hey, we still had a good time. Yes. We do love us some Mac and Patty. Hey, that'd be a good hamburger, a Mac and Patty. Yeah. Yeah. So
I haven't eaten yet, so shut up.
Well, I haven't either. And my cook is out on the zero turn.
Catching the sun.
In the sun.
Yep.
With a swim top on.
She will definitely disown
We don't
you.
have no neighbors. That's the only reason she went out there. She's really conservative. She covers up a lot, but when I met her, she always wore V-neck shirts. Yeah. And
nice one, Troy.
Now she's a grandma, and she's more conservative now than she was back in the day.
Why? Because she's a grandma? Over here it goes the other way. You become a grandparent and everything gets let loose.
Yeah. Troy Sutton's he's got Brenda coming in from Freedom Redbird. She's heading over there to Troy's location. I had a bacon sandwich this morning.
I've got plenty of bacon in the fridge.
Let's see.
I might just have a bacon quiche.
Yep. But guys, again, pray for those families that have lost loved ones, lost their children. Please say a prayer, get your knees dirty, hug your kids, hug your grandkids, appreciate them for what they bring to your life. We like spoiling our grandkids. I wish my grandkids that are up in Idaho live closer. We tried not to miss any birthdays or holidays with them, but they are a ways away because of my son's work. But the ones we got here, we spoil them and then send them home. Our oldest granddaughter, she's in Orlando, competing in a clothing design competition in Orlando. I don't know how they did. Haven't talked to her today. They should find out what place they ranked and stuff like that. But they got second place in the state of Oklahoma from their little school. And some young man who's going to probably become a clothing designer. He blew everybody out of the water. And he's like the top pick for the national title. But she got it paid for. And then the family said, hey, we might as well go with you. When you got a almost 15-year-old daughter and she looks like a 21-year-old girl, you
go with that girl.
You want to escort her wherever she goes and don't let them go on their own. And that's just good parenting.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what we got for you today, guys. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. I don't even know what Terrie's got plans for us, but we are going to do some mowing. I got to get on the tractor and do the pasture back there. Got to cut down. We have these trees that came up, and I didn't notice it at first, but now they're at the stage. They get these long thorns. They're about that big, and they're hard as rock. I don't know what they call it, but the neighbor guy said, hey, man, he goes, you got to get rid of those because one of those, that'll puncture a tractor tire.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I got a stainless steel blade and on my chainsaw, and we're cutting them down. I don't need that in my life. And if we can prevent that, we're going to prevent it and get rid of them. Because all we do is grow grass out there. We were going to get goats and stuff like that, but all the surgeries, all the surgeries I had to go through, and we never got around to it. But I am here this month taking a trip to Come On Homesteading, going over there. I got a bunch of stuff to deliver to him. I got to pick up my chains. I got to pick up my tie downs that he borrowed, my ratchet straps. When we put that hog house on top of the trailer, and he drove it for 3.5 hours down public roads like the Beverly Hillbillies.
I would have done that.
But I watched David's videos and I can see my chains. His ratchets are lighter orange. Mine are a deeper red. So yeah, he goes, man, your shades I've been using them. He goes, I may have to buy you a new set. But I'm going to go visit David up on Come On Mountain. Terrie's staying here because she's going at the end of the month to South Padre Island with our granddaughter for her birthday. They're going to spend the night in Waco, pick up Brittany, and then them three are going down to South Padre Island to have a birthday weekend or week. They got hotel rooms and they're doing all kinds of stuff down there. So they're going to, hopefully they film whatever they're doing. Because I do get a lot of views when Terrie's doing the video. So.
Oh yeah, you will. You'll get even more views with Brittany.
Yeah, because I did the morning talk last Friday.
Especially now she's gone through her fitness phase.
And I got more views on that one because Terrie was in there than I do normally. I get like 200 and something views total on morning talks. That one's up around 600 or whatever it's at now. So more people watch when Terrie's on here. So maybe that's the morning.
Who wants to see two grumpy old bastards going on about what?
Yeah,
two grumpy old bald bastards
going
on about whatever when they can look at Terrie.
You have a blessed day and a blessed weekend. And a blessed weekend for everybody. Okay? So guys, remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need. And always think of that. Guys, remember, prayers for Texas, prayers for New Mexico to help those families out. And may the Lord bless them and keep them in their time of need and loss. So anyway, guys, we love you. God bless you. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.